Good morning, I'm Jim.
I'm Rhenda.
We're Hardiness Approach.
We don't normally make a video on Sunday. We used to when we did our 180 days. But this is just...
There went a hummingbird. Came to take a look at us.
That was so sweet.
It's first thing in the morning. Sun's up, shining a bit in our eyes, but coming up over the trees. We're listening to...
Lots of birds.
Lots of birds. I've got to learn the names of these birds by their calls so we can recognize them. There are a lot of them. We're watching the birds that are taking over in our...
Condo
out in the circle. Don't know what kind they are, but there are a few of them there. Just...
I think they said they're
a cacophony of gorgeous songs. Really, really relaxing.
Well, last night when we went to bed, we were talking about
besides
all the goodness, all the goodness. I woke up this morning and went, you know, I need to go talk about Marianne Lawrence's word. If you haven't followed Marianne Lawrence on her Surviving the 80s YouTube channel, you need to go there. But we put a challenge out to homesteading families to come up with a word for the year. Her word for the year was gratitude, and that's certainly what we're filled with today. I still sound tired. I got mostly over my cold, but I got a new set of allergies today that I woke up with, so, blah.
We tried to work our colds out yesterday. We had some things we wanted to do, and we got them done.
So we have this incredible place, and yesterday we did work. We worked a lot, didn't we?
Well, you know, the gratitude that I'm feeling is that we have, as we've looked at what we should do and conceptualized, we may need to change the direction we're facing, because I'm having to look straight into the sun to see the camera, and that's not... Sorry for the scene change. As I was looking into the camera, the sun was right behind it, and I was like getting blinder by the moment. I'm grateful for the sun as well. It's been doing wonderful things for all of the vegetation here. It's great to see.
Sun, rain. Wow,
what a combination. You put it in the ground and you let it grow. For those of you who are religious and pray, you'll understand this, and others I'm sure understand it as well, from the standpoint of what you're seeking and achieving. As we've looked at what it was we wanted to do, and we prayed about ways to make that happen, it happened.
It did. It happened beyond our dreams.
Yes. Beyond what we prayed for, it's been there. And let me say one other thing, and I truly see this as another one of the things that we're gratified for, that we have a lot of we're grateful for. We've been starting to talk about permaculture and creating a food forest here, among other things that we're doing, but as part of what we're doing. And we had talked. We haven't really prayed about it. We've talked together about, you know, we're going to have some help, because some of these projects are pretty big. They're going to require a lot from us. And yesterday, as we're taking a break from the work we were doing, it had been hot outside, and we really felt the need to take a break, and we were grateful for that break. There was a knock on the door, and a young guy, his name's Quint. He happens to be an assistant pastor at one of the local churches. I thought he was the pastor. No, I think he
lives in the parish house.
He lives in the parish house. So, you know, I don't know the whole story. Anyway, he said he was aware that we were here in Bolivar. He follows us. His brother, who is in Kansas, follows us, and had said, you know, the Wilsons from Hardiness Approach are moving to Bolivar and buying 15 acres. Well, Quint knew the 15 acres because he and his wife had looked at it. They're not ready to buy, but they had looked at it. It was the kind of thing they would like to have and to work with. But he's very into permaculture and so much
and
of
mob grazing and Joel Salatin. It was like standing there talking to ourselves. It was like, so wonderful.
It was amazing. But he says, when you're working on these projects, I'd like to come be part of it. I'd like to come and help out. So we hadn't even prayed about or really thought through when we would want to get someone to help, and he's come and offered to help.
And then the night before, we had gotten a text message from another subscriber, and she lives not too far from here, and she's going to take Oliver while we're gone, and she's going to do it just so that she can support us, and we're overwhelmed with gratitude. We've had the sellers of the property have just been incredible. They loaned us a mower yesterday. They loaned us their trailer. We have had so many blessings that we would be so ungrateful if we didn't share with you how grateful we are for what we've been given.
I know we've all heard that when you strive to give and help others, that the blessings flow for you. And that's not why we've done what we've done. We've done it from the depth of our hearts to share and to help and to encourage, and the blessings are being showered on us. There's no doubt about it. Whether you consider it blessings from heaven or karma or just the way that things tend to work, it's how it's working. Now, does that mean everything's hunky-dory and perfect and there aren't any challenges and problems? For instance, yesterday morning, we found a tick that had started embedding itself in Rhenda's skin, and we had to remove it. It hadn't got down to the blood.
Hadn't even got to the blood.
So, that's fine.
But that was a blessing, because now we know to be vigilant.
Our complacency had dropped a little bit, or it had increased. We'd become more complacent. So, but we're grateful for, before we got into this and it became a problem because we weren't aware of how much of a challenge and problem it could be, it happened. Now, my whole life I've lived where there were ticks. I've had a tick on me once or twice, never in my skin.
And it hadn't started, it wasn't fat or anything,
Yeah.
It just barely had gotten there.
But yeah, seen them on dogs. But,
and our dog hasn't had one, and he lays in the grass.
Yeah.
We gave him a whole tick bath last night. Nothing.
So we have more to learn about ticks, but we're grateful that we had that experience.
We're grateful for my
early
tick.
on. But it got us thinking correctly and so forth. But we're to the point that we're flowing forward. We're not seeing other things that we need, that we want, that we feel compelled to ask for. They're going to be, when we put the seed in the ground, please help it to grow kinds of prayers.
Oh, and they are. Those tomatoes and those peppers, the peppers have doubled in size.
Yeah, they're
doubled.
They're doing great.
That's amazing. Now, go ahead.
No, I'm at a stopping point.
Okay, I just want to say that we had another subscriber say, so there's only 2 of you. You are going to get help, aren't you? Apparently we are coming and going and doing things. I also want to say one more thing, because I don't want this to be too long today. We talked yesterday in the car about how hard it was for us to make this garden. We finished the 50-foot garden and made another, what would you say, almost 10 by 12?
Something like that.
Yeah, at least 8-foot by 12-foot garden over here. All the layers are on them.
They aren't planted yet, but they're ready to be
all
planted.
The layers are on them, the compost, the peat moss, everything's on them. And they're done. And we're like, wow, that was labor intensive. The reason it is anytime you start a garden from scratch, you go and look at when J.M. Fortier does his market gardens. Even he has to do it completely different than he would normally do it.
When he starts with ground that hasn't been farmed the way that he's
So we know that when we're going to go out in the back and do our great big garden, we are going to incorporate a tractor.
The first time that you're getting the ground ready, it's a lot of work. I mean, there are some simpler ways to do it, but it depends on what you're wanting to accomplish. That's going to determine how much work you have to do. It's just the way it is. And I was doing some reading that a lot of people's attitude is that during your first year, you probably won't grow much of anything, but you're going to get the ground ready.
You're growing the soil.
Overall, you'll get more growing if you focus more on getting the soil prepped and the ground prepped correctly.
Jim's statement is, it's on the bottom of his emails, it all begins with the soil. And it truly does. But we know some easier ways to do some things. If we had really good, strong black plastic and just rolled that right out over
and then you have to be ready to wait for it to get ready. But
this one we were trying to get so we could plant right now, but some of the others, we're going to layer it and put black plastic on it and wait.
So really the trick is that the quicker you want something to get accomplished, the more work. If you're willing to let Mother Nature do the work, then you can kind of help things along, and she'll do a marvelous job, but you have to wait for her.
So one of the other things that our subscriber who came over told us about is another place to get some compost that's local, another place to get some wood chips. And so, wow, our community has come to our home. I've really got my allergies going this morning. I need to go do something about that. Hey, just a really quick thing. If you know what...
Just one more thing.
Essential oil or herb or whatever it is I can use for allergies instead of doing over-the-counter, please let me know about it in the thing below. I've got to start getting into that. I use Breathe from Degenerate, and that really helps. I have an infuser. I use that, but I didn't use it last night. I just dropped into bed. I didn't even put my vaporizer on last night. I just dropped into bed.
We should have done
that. It felt so good to work.
It did. It did.
So we hope you have a beautiful Sabbath day. Today is
one more thing that we're grateful. We're grateful for all of you.
Oh, we so are.
The support, the encouragement, the advice, the questions that get us thinking about things maybe we didn't consider as thoroughly or as correctly we should. We're grateful that you're there and that you care.
Today is the first day of the Baker's Creek Seed Festival, and we are not there. We will be there tomorrow.
Excited for that.
And so yeah, we are choosing not to go on Sunday, but that's okay. We will see you all tomorrow, and we hope that you enjoy this little thing. We're just going to go put this on really fast. Have a great day.
Thanks for watching.
Oh,
one more thing.
Thank you for everyone who has subscribed to the newsletter. If you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, please go to hardiness.com and subscribe to the newsletter. It will get better. It will get better.
We're going to get into a routine now that we're here and not worrying about all kinds of other things.
It's going to have some how-tos in it.
Yes.
Alrighty. Thanks so much.
Thanks for watching.